Ah, Chaos Space Marines, the nemesis of many a dedicated painter in the Warhammer 40k community due to their trims fittingly from hell. This being said, today I'm going to be assembling and painting the Chaos Space Marine combat patrols, included HQ, the Dark Apostle, and his 2 Dark Disciples. I recently attended a 1000 point Incursion 10th edition tournament at my local hobby store, and there I ended up doing what I never have in my entire decade in the hobby. I won a full-fledged tournament as an orc player. That's right, somehow I was able to crush all 3 of my opponents with my green skins, and as a result I was awarded this CSM Combat Patrol as my prize. Now, as most of us adult toy soldier nerds are apt to do, I wanted to immediately tear into the pretty new box, so I decided to do that very thing, hence the subject of this video. So, first things first, of course, the assembly process, and of course, pre-planning the scheme I wanted to go with. Now these are my first Chaos Space Marines, at least in terms of the generic variety, and I wasn't sure what scheme I wanted to go with at first. So being in doubt, I decided to go with the tried and true, who's your favorite Chaos God strategy, and boom! I had a scheme.
Khorne, the Mighty Blood God.
Now yes, I know World Eaters are a dedicated army in their own right, separate from CSM, though with some carryover between the two, but there's no reason I can't have a dedicated Khorne-aligned, bog-standard CSM army. Though I would like a World Eaters army in the future, but I've already got way too many armies going at once, so it's probably for the best I didn't win a World Eaters box instead. That would have sent me into bankruptcy. After priming the minis, I got straight to work on applying the red base coat to appease Khorne's love of blood. The red I chose was Vallejo's Bloody Red, which I find to be just the right amount of vibrant for this scheme. Once completed, I base coated the Loyalist Scum's helm in Pauldron, then the parchment of the book with a mix of Vallejo's Bone White, and then the cape with Citadel's Corvus Black. After this, I then skipped a few steps, unfortunately, and began dry brushing the fire glow onto the tome. Realizing my mistake, I quickly rebounded and base coated the back of the tome with a mix of Vallejo's Beastie Brown and Bloody Red, and hit the metal bits with Balthazar Gold. While I use the other colors I've already described, I'd like to talk about my love of Khorne as both a god and a faction. Khorne is my favorite of the Chaos Gods for pretty simple reasons. Firstly, in the old lore of Warhammer, the Chaos Gods weren't just hyperbolic, over-the-top evil deities. In concept, they were more dual-sided, with the evil side being more predominant. The other side to Khorne was that he believed strongly in a sense of honor. A fairness of sorts in battle where one should always kill their opponent, looking them in the eye rather than doing so sneakily from behind. Secondly, there's something enjoyable about simple-minded ferocity and rage that Khorne and his followers emit. A beautiful simplicity of reason and purpose without any pathetic posturing or petty justifications. Just honest and direct brutality. I'd say a good example in other media of what I mean is Wolverine from the X-Men franchise or the Punisher. Yes, they have reasons for their actions, but they don't just waste time on monologuing about it, nor pretending they are more noble than others via said actions. But back to the mini, I moved on to painting the oh-so-foreboding trim, which hath defeated many a painter before me. Keeping in line with the Khorne theme, I painted the trim Runelord Brass, which later, when washed with Agrax Earthshade, will look spot on for Khorne. Once the trim was applied, I made sure to hit the armor's joint gaps with Vallejo's Black, and finally, apply my dry brushed fire effects to the flames. After turning up the heat, I then added the much needed blood effects, using Citadel's Blood for the Blood God technical paint. Can't do Khorne without at least a little. I then painted in the Apostle's face with Citadel's Bugman's Glow, which is a fantastic flesh tone paint. Once complete, I then began highlights for the armor panels, using a mix of Vallejo's Bloody Red and Citadel's Flash Gets Yellow. I followed that up with further detailing on the Loyalist Scum's helm and pauldron, with Citadel's Retributor Gold, and then applying washes across the entire Apostle. Citadel's Agrax Earthshade for all the trim and parchment, and Citadel's Reichland Flesh Shade for the skin. While allowing said washes time to dry, I base coated the terrain with Vallejo's Black. To allow this to also dry, I moved on to painting both disciples with various colors used on their master. For the final touch, I dry brushed all the black base terrain with Vallejo's Stonewall Gray to give an ashen dusted feel. And with that, the Dark Apostle is ready to lead his troops into battle in the name of Khorne.
Blood for the Blood God, skulls for the Skull Throne.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and if you guys liked it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave a comment what you guys thought. All that helps me know that you guys want more content like this, so I can put it on the burner to get underway. Anyway, that's it for me, guys, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.